Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the A-Gap Podcast. And now, your host, Colby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the A-Gap Podcast. Today is Tuesday, September 13th. And we are a little shorthanded today, but I do want to let everybody know we are here in Northern California. We have a lot of family members. 3 out of the 4 members of this podcast grew up in Forest Hill, California, which is currently under the attack of the Mosquito fire, local wildfire here. So we are hoping today to help the local community. We're going to spam links in the chat. If you have some extra funds, please go help the local members of Forest Hill. Matt and John are going to be with their families tonight and helping in any way possible that they can. Tom, you grew up in Forest Hill. Hopefully everything is okay with your friends and family up there as well. So just shout out to everybody up there in Forest Hill. We hope you guys are safe. We love you guys and all the firemen that are up there working your ass off. Cal Fire, keep fighting it. We trust you guys and just keep doing what you can to protect that town and help out the local community.
So the only thing I want to add on that too, it's just been it always happens if there's big fire, but it's awesome to see when I live in Roseville now, right? But like you see fire trucks coming in from everywhere, man. Like communities in Nevada, all parts of California, Oregon, like because they're setting up kind of near my house. There's a big like area in Roseville where the fairgrounds are. And so it's incredible to see how much people we can mobilize so quickly. So thank you so much, all those people that are coming out to save our little mountain town, but we appreciate it more than you can ever know.
Absolutely. Kevin, Pierre Pancake, Fail Gank, we thank you guys for being here. We thank you guys for your well wishes. Kevin, if you want to spam that link, it is, I just sent it there in the chat. And for all you podcast listeners, go ahead. It's on the sacramentobee.com. I'm not going to read the entire link, but just search Mosquito Fire GoFundMe. They have verified accounts of families that have lost their homes and that are looking to get some assistance from the local community. So I know we have a small community here, but I know that we can help in some way. We have a tiny little platform, but if we can help in any way, let's get to it tonight. But there's a lot going on there, but we figured the show's got to go on. It's week 1 football. There's a lot of fun sports that happen. Obviously, it seems very minor in comparison to what's going on up in Forest Hill and even in the El Dorado County area as well. But we wanted to talk football with you guys. It's week 1, so let's try and get a little excited. Let's try and bring a little fun into it. We still have picks from John and Matt. The hot sauce, so little spoiler alert, it was going to be Matt doing the hot sauce tonight, but obviously he's taking time with his family, so he's going to be catching up to that next week or next time he's on the show, and then whoever loses next week will be doing it along with him. So with that being said, this is the new format, so welcome to the show. Tom, you got something to say? Sounds like you had something
I
to
was
say
just going to say, let's ask the chat, if Matt loses 2 weeks in a row, does he do double the hot sauce? Chat, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? Let us know. Let us know in the chat because
we were going to do like a little drop of hot sauce. And so I think it's fair if Matt does 2 drops if he loses 2 weeks in a row.
If he loses 2 in a row, I'm sure he'll be a little more motivated this time to not lose twice in a row. Or knowing him, he might just go for it because he was the one that initially suggested we do the hot sauce. So he might just be amped and ready to go and just be fired up literally to put some fire in his mouth. So he does. Oh God, Kevin says he has to snort the second.
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
That might actually happen.
We're gonna be calling an ambulance to his fucking house.
I don't want anybody to get injured on this show, but obviously we'll figure something out for him if he does lose 2 in a row. But all right, within this new format, so we are just gonna start the ground running. We have our new segment, Studs and Duds. We have some picks from Matt. So Tom, we're gonna go through all of them, and then for you podcast listeners, you're going to get 2 episodes. So this is going to be episode 1, which is going to be the week 1 recap and Studs and Duds. And then tomorrow, aka Thursday, you're going to be getting another episode with all the week 2 pick'ems. So that's how it's going to go moving forward. For all of those you that are here with us on the live show, we're doing it all tonight, baby. So stick around. It's going to be a long one, but with Tom and I here, we're going to power through it. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it.
One quick question, Colby.
Yes.
What's the theme song for Studs and Duds? Go. Theme
Ooh,
song.
theme song. Studs and
Go
Duds.
right now. Don't think about it. Just do it. Just say it. That's a Star Wars song, dude. That's Star Wars. That's
isn't
episode 1
isn't
or
that
something.
Fox Music or Fox Football or something like that?
I don't know. I kind
know.
of got some episode 1 vibes, dude.
Let me see if I can find some
Naboo
NFL
Palace.
films royalty free. Royalty
I don't know if that's a thing.
It probably isn't, but I'm sure somebody has something similar to it. Oh God, what is this website I'm going to? Oh, it's like $100 a song. All right,
Fuck that, dude.
I'm just gonna go.
Ready? Here's my version. Here's my
Triumphant
version.
music. All right, what do you got? What do you got?
Studs and Duds.
There we go. I like that actually. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm just gonna look up triumphant songs, royalty free, 30 minutes of uplifting, triumphant, emotional music.
Yikes.
We're just gonna put this on in the background and see how it
How
goes.
cringe
It
it is.
doesn't really work for the duds, but it'll kind of work for the studs, I think. Right. All right, so I'll go ahead and get us started. So one of my studs for the week, I had Saquon Barkley. He is absolutely back in full force. The Giants look great. We can talk about that game a little bit, but Saquon had 18 carries for 164 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 6 receptions for 30 yards. So he was doing it all. He still has that extra pep in his step. He looked awesome. Did you get a chance to watch that Giants-Titans game?
I did. It was actually, weirdly enough, a pretty interesting game the whole way through.
Yeah.
And we got our first pretty big ball head coaching decision of the season from that game, which was impressive. I hate the Giants, and I gotta respect. He went for the win. There was 30 seconds left. He could have tied it and then tried to go to OT. He went for the win, baby.
Yep.
And then it almost backfired on him. And I think the football gods shined upon a coach that's got such large balls.
Oh,
and
massive.
And then they were like, you know what? You did this, so yes, we're gonna give you the win.
Once again, it was Saquon Barkley with the shovel pass. It was the shovel pass.
Dude, of course. Well, if you got to go to one person, Saquon's the guy, man. He looked like the best player on the entire field too. That's easy to say. Granted, it wasn't the most interesting matchup, but still, they found a way to win. So good for them. NFC East tied for first. Commanders, Giants, Eagles. Last place, Cowboys.
There we go. As it should be, and as it probably will be moving forward as of what happened with the Cowboys. But yeah, that game was just so great to see. I was thinking it was like, oh my God, the Titans are going to kick this field goal at the end. The Giants are going to be like classic Giants. They're going to lose. Everyone's going to be pissed. But nope, he missed the field goal. It was absolutely incredible. I loved it.
Fat Randy, dude. Fat Randy did not come up clutch.
Fat Randy is also back. 100%. It was incredible. Pierre Pancake says, not recommending it for studs and duds, but Classic Battle by Sam Spence is the official football song to me. All right. If it's royalty free, we'll check it out. I'm down. I am down. You want to go with one of your studs, Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to go with A.J. Brown. Guy fucking went off. He got 13 receptions on 15 targets. Jalen Hurts just loved him, dude. He broke over 150 yards. He had a crazy day. It was the best day any new Eagle ever had from a receiving yards perspective. Just went off. Obviously, we can talk all day about how the Eagles, their offense looked really good. The defense kind of fell apart, and we'll get to that. But super encouraging to see the connection Jalen has with AJ. Excited to see Devontae get a little more involved. He had 4 targets. A couple of those were drops. 0 catches at all. So I think Devontae's going to get more involved, and I think this is kind of part of the strategy. AJ's going to look like the guy, and then they can do change of pace and have such great skill players around that. So AJ Brown, though, absolute stud. Best wide receiver Eagles have had since T.O.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
He was absolutely, he lived up to the expectation that people wanted him to be. There was so much hype, obviously, with the contract, with him hyping up the Eagles, with him being so excited to be with another team, and he showed up to play. And he had multiple opportunities to score as well and got taken down like right before the goal line multiple times. So it could have been an even bigger day for AJ Brown. And I don't think it's, like you said, I don't think it's going to slow down that much. I mean, they'll kind of key in on him. Devonta Smith, I think you kind of alluded to, didn't even get a target, which is kind of sad for a lot of fantasy owners. He got targets, but he didn't catch anything. Yeah, no catches. That's right. So tough day for him. But I think he's going to end up getting a little more production, a little more looks as people key in on AJ, because he looked incredible. Failgank said, "Fuck you, AJ Brown." That's because in the Discord he was talking about he lost a fantasy matchup because of AJ Brown. So sorry, dude. That's
Hey,
I had AJ
fucking
and I
bad
won
beats,
the
what are you
league I
gonna
had
do?
him in. So that's how it
Yeah.
goes. That's
You
how it
should have
goes.
drafted him, then you wouldn't have to go against him.
Yep, there you go. See, you should have believed in him. You should have believed in him.
You probably drafted DK Metcalf over him. That's my guess.
Oh boy, that's a whole nother story. Ron switching over to
Christian
YouTube.
Watson, what's that guy that dropped the easy touchdown?
Yeah,
Watson?
I think so.
Yeah. That's who Failgank drafted.
The fact that I don't even know who that is very indicative of how the Packers receiving core was, I would say, during that game. We'll get into that in one of Matt's picks, but I'm going to go to one of Matt's studs. He obviously had Justin Jefferson. He was the best receiver, I would say, all day. He had 9 receptions, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns on only 11 targets. Talk about efficiency. And this is the guy that people think are going to go get the Triple Crown. Everybody is so high on him, and once again, he almost exceeded the expectations that people expected him to have this week.
Absolutely.
kudos.
Can't be more excited. Can't wait for Vikings on Monday night. It's going to be a huge game. Eagles are favored. I kind of don't like that, but I'm down, you know. Glad Vegas has a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the picks go this week, because I think we have maybe a couple guys taking the Vikings.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I think it's going to be a great game. It'll be very, very interesting to see how it plays out. All right, well, since we still have the uplifting music going on, I think we'll find something else for duds, but I'm going to go back to my second pick for studs. I got Stephon Diggs. I know it happened a few days ago. It was on Thursday, but he showed up, 8 receptions, 122 yards, 1 touchdown, and did it against the Rams defense that a lot of people thought was going to be almost impenetrable, and especially that one streak that he had against Jalen Ramsey that he just cooked him, turned back and was just talking mad shit. It was incredible to watch him just run all over Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is the big loser, I think, of that Thursday night game. You know, it's like
Yes.
the Rams lost, but Jalen Ramsey took the L. Fucking getting humped, air humped by Josh Allen. Did you see that shit?
Yes,
Fucking
yes.
hilarious, dude.
Oh,
I
it
guess
wasn't
he was
air
talking a
humped.
lot of
It
shit.
was physically like face fucked, like basically
Face-fucked.
face fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, yikes. It's never a good look when the opposing quarterback's doing that to you. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, tough look, tough look. Kevin in the chat wants to know, Tom, can we get an Eagle scale of 1 to 5 check from Tom for his confidence in the season? 1 being a common buzzard, 2 being a griffin vulture, 3 being a changeable hawk eagle. What? Okay. 4 crested serpent eagle, 5 bald eagle.
I'm gonna land on right now. It's only 1 game, but I'm gonna go 4 crested serpent eagle.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I do feel pretty good. I'm a little bit nervous about the Vikings because there's a lot of people that are saying the Vikings are a sneaky good team. But yeah, I'm still feeling pretty confident. I'm pretty happy with our performance week 1. I think defense has got to lock some stuff up, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people are going to say, like, oh, it was the Lions. This is not the Lions of last year. They put up a fight. That's something I wanted to bring up, too. And we can talk a little bit more about the game after more of your picks and stuff. But the Lions just love fighting back in week 1, it seems like. So why don't you go ahead and give me your second stud pick?
I'm going Chubb from the Browns, man. That guy was getting drafted way too cheap, way too late. Over 140 yards rushing. He looks like he did not drop off at all from last season. Browns are a run-first team. Stefanski's got him dialed. It's not like Brissett's running the ball, so Chubb's your guy. And that little Kareem Hunt Chubb 1-2 seems pretty nasty, even though it's pretty much everything they got on offense. But Chubb, if you picked him as your RB2, you're feeling fucking great after week 1.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, and like you said, he was going real low in drafts because, granted, Kareem had those 2 touchdowns, but Chubb's going to get in the end zone. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. Kareem Hunt was big. Yeah. This Failgank just said that's Kareem Hunt's team for fantasy. Maybe. All right. Let's go to Matt's last pick for studs. I love this pick. He took Geno Smith. We all watched the game last night. Geno Smith went 23 for 28. That's, if you are quick at math, 82% completion rate. He went for 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had probably one of the greatest football quotes we've heard in a long time.
Yeah, dude.
It was so sick. They said, who was it? Michelle Tafoya said, a lot of people wrote you off, Geno. What do you got to say to them? He said, well, they may have wrote me off, but I didn't write back. Love it.
So good.
That's so good.
Classic football quote immediately in week 1.
Yes. I think
And
we're all
against
Geno Smith
Russ.
fans.
Oh yeah, dude. It was perfect. I guess people in Denver are pissed off about last night, but I think pretty much everyone else was happy. Everyone else got the outcome. You know, maybe the bettors out there, but man, if you bet the Seahawks money line, goddamn, you probably made some money last night. The ball's on you. Some Brian Dable balls on that one. So impressive win. And again, I think everyone was expecting the Seahawks to have a good first half, but then the Broncos just could not figure it out. And once again, I think Russ a little shook too, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he was shook by the crowd. He was shook being in an environment that used to be on his side, and they were booing him. I don't think he expected that. I didn't even expect that.
Some loud boos. I was thinking about that if like Buster Posey played one more season or got traded. Let's say he decided to keep playing, they traded him for a whole bunch of picks. I don't know if I would boo him if he came back into the fucking stadium.
Absolutely
I don't know if
not.
I could do that.
Granted, I think it's they feel slighted, right? Because he wanted
he said
out.
He wanted out. Yeah.
But still, it's like you got to understand the situation. You guys weren't good. But the revenge game, and granted, the picks that they got were on the defensive line. And I mean, this is kind of a good transition. I'm going to try and I literally just searched wacky music non-copyright, so we'll see how this goes.
Here
We're gonna go into the duds
I
of
hope
the
it's not
week.
ear cancer for everyone. I apologize.
It's probably terrible. I'm trying to keep it really quiet. Let me know if the music gets too loud, but yeah, it should just be background music. So my first dud that I'm gonna go with, the transition, is the Broncos running backs. They had 2 fumbles in the red zone, both Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. Tough fumbles, would have completely changed the course of the game. Would have helped a lot of fantasy managers out there as well. Just a tough look, and the funny thing is the guys that created those fumbles are guys that were traded in the Russell Wilson pick. So just very funny to see how karma comes back and bites you in the ass.
You got to be careful, you know, and this was bound to happen, right? You know that NFL schedule writer, the mad scientist, was yucking his face off when he got Russell Wilson's first Bronco game is back in Seattle on Monday night. So we got what we wanted, America. And of course, the Broncos, what are you going to do? This is hopefully just one game. Russ is going to be there for a while. That was bound to happen, though. The picks you picked might just look real bad later. But it's just one game. It's early.
It's very early. I think as we get into the recap later tonight or next episode, if you're a listener, there's a lot of get-right teams now that I think took tough L's in week 1 and are going to be real hungry coming into week 2. Who you got for a dud?
Well, I've got the Eagles defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, because pretty rough showing, giving up 35 points when you're up by more than 2 touchdowns. So they really couldn't slam the door on shit. And obviously it's week 1, just like we said. We don't know if this is bad defense or if it's just the Lions are that good at rushing the ball, which I think they could be. You know, they're a rushing team. And Jared Goff, he went to a Super Bowl, but he's not supposed to be that good. So Jonathan Gannon, definitely on the hot seat. Who was the guy that was the DC for the Niners and he was the recent Broncos head coach? Who's that fucking guy?
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio. He's been hanging around the Eagles facility a little bit during training camp. So just Vic Fangio pictures were all over Eagles Twitter, like, this guy, call this guy, he's our guy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Eagles fans are pretty quick to burn a guy after one game. So we'll see. Gotta give a little more, but this team is so talented, so there's no fucking way they should give up that many points. Jordan Davis, when he was on the field, opposing rushers averaged 2.8 yards a carry. When Jordan Davis was off the field, opposing rushers averaged 10.8 yards a carry. That's my stat of the game.
That's crazy.
Guy only played 22 snaps, 33% of defensive snaps. So, Jonathan Gannon, do yourself a favor. I fucking love Fletcher Cox, and I love what those guys, Hargrave, they've been great players, but Jordan Davis obviously proves he's got the juice. So, he's at least got to have more like 50% of the snaps, not 33. So,
yeah. I mean, if you're giving up 10 yards per carry, granted, you're going against Swift, who is top 5 back in the league, arguably. Still, you got to plug up the holes. Get the guy in there that can really help you out.
Exactly. Also, side note too, Derek Barnett tore his ACL out for season. Eagles are down one more defensive end. Hopefully our depth and our great positioning all off seasons prepared us for this, but never great. A lot of teams lost a player out for the season in week 1. Just bummer. It's mine.
Yeah, that is tough. I did see TJ Watt already posted a Terminator gift. I'll be back. So apparently does not need surgery. For all you Steelers fans, good news for you.
It's good news for the league too. TJ Watt's just so good at football. Like everyone wants that guy on the field.
Exactly. He was awesome. And he's on my fantasy team as an IDP. So ignored unrequested.
He's my pick for defensive player of the year in our.
Oh, there we go.
So
there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read one of Matt's duds here. So, Fail Gank, plug your ears. One of Matt's duds, the Packers passing attack in its entirety. Rodgers had 2 turnovers. Watson drops a 75-yard bomb, as we touched on earlier. Dobbs, the rookie, led the team with 4 receptions for
Dubes.
30, or Dubes, excuse me, indubitably.
Yeah, he must be smoking doobies before the plays. He's dropping that many.
The crazy stat, he led the team 4 receptions, 37 yards.
Ah, yikes.
Yikes. Granted, they have some injuries. Lazard is out. One other guy's out that I forget the name of. Fail Gank, I'm sure will remind me, but tough look for the Packers. They were not on the same page. Even on minor screen passes, the timing was just way off. So I'm sure they're going to get right. They're going to get some guys back and they'll be on the right page, but it's going to be tough if that is going to be how they look going forward. Everyone's just going to key in on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, who had some good production out of the backfield, but just was
Aaron
not
Jones
up
looked
to
a
what they need.
lot worse than A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon found a way with some good rushes and some tutties, but be a little more concerned if I was Jones owner right now.
Oh, 100%. A couple messages in the chat. Kevin said, hey, y'all thoughts on playing in the preseason? Seems like the teams that didn't play their starters did not start too hot.
Absolutely.
Actually,
running theme. Yep. Running theme of the weekend here is teams that didn't do physical contact. Like Eagles scored because they found a way to win against a team that did do a bunch of in-pads practice and actual playing in the preseason. Bunch of teams did not, and we're seeing that right now. Packers, Rams, there's one other one that got there. Cowboys, I think. So
Niners, hand up.
Niners, yep, they didn't play a whole bunch of their starting offense. So this is what you get. What do you expect? A longer season too? We're talking about 17 games instead of 16, so there's one less preseason game. So maybe head coaches will do a little more like Dan Campbell next year and get them in pads and maybe make them play a little bit more in preseason.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it's just getting their body in shape, getting their team on the same level. I mean, we've even had injuries. Kittle got injured in practice, right? Like these guys just aren't up to speed. So I think shortening the preseason, great idea, but you do, I think, need to start your guys a little earlier to get them in game shape. Failgank is reminding us, don't forget the Packers got spanked week 1 last year too, and they also got beat by the Niners in the playoffs.
Well, I tried to make that argument of why the Packers would start stronger, would not lose, because like, yeah, they're not going to look like assholes two seasons in a row in week 1. They're not going to show up that unprepared 2 seasons in a row, but you know, lost some money on the Packers so they can go fuck themselves.
Yep.
Sorry, Failgank.
There you go. There you
lost
go.
Some money. Lots of money this week.
Tom, how would you classify your first week as a gambling sports bettor as a dud or a stud?
Oh, it's the biggest dud on the board, Colby. Man, I love me some parlays and they don't love me back. So I need to check myself at the door a little bit. We're gonna slow my roll. Got a little excited on Football Sunday and maybe went a little crazy. But the bets were fun. The payouts would have been great, but I don't know. I had a parlay that involved the Chiefs covering and beating the Cardinals, and they whooped ass. That was awesome. But then the next one was the Packers to win and the over to hit, and that just neither of those things happened. So that was like all my parlays. One side was okay, and the other side was just trash.
So little advice: obviously, avoid the parlays. I've told you that.
I know, but they're so much fun.
They are very fun because when they hit, it's the best feeling in the world. Also, if you bet less, you can make more bets. So do like $5 $10 bets rather than one $50 bet, right? I don't know, just one way to think about it. But hey,
that's a good point.
Bet small, win small. Bet big, win bigger. So
scared money don't make money. Is what I've been repeatedly told. So I was definitely not scared, but I definitely didn't make money.
Fair. All right. One of my other duds I had marked down was, this might be a little bit of a surprise, Christian McCaffrey. And granted, I would say from a fantasy perspective, not a terrible performance. So he had 10 carries for 33 yards and 1 touchdown. and 4 receptions for 24 yards. So the touchdown definitely saved his day from a fantasy perspective. But if that touchdown doesn't happen, for this guy that we've been waiting an entire year to see come back, kind of a tough day. And if you watch the tape, his biggest play of the day was when Baker Mayfield muffed a shotgun snap, which he also muffed like 3 or 4 other snaps.
He looked real bad.
He looked really bad. And McCaffrey just scooped it off the ground and ran for like 25 yards. And that was his biggest play of the game. So it was kind of tough. Ron makes a great point, though. CMC can't be a dud. He finished the game healthy.
That's a win-win. Who cares?
That's the only thing you can expect from him now. But yeah, I was just kind of thinking, after all this hype, after this such a long time, going maybe even first overall in some drafts, probably mostly second overall, just kind of a tough day, salvageable because of that touchdown. But without that touchdown, you're going to have a lot of pissed fantasy managers out there. All right, who you got for your last dud?
My last dud is going to be the Cowboys offense pre-Dak injury. So post-Dak injury, you can justify it in your crazy little Cowboys brains. But before that, they looked like trash. And I think obviously the Bucs have a good defense, but not 3 points. Not like CeeDee Lamb fucking totally terrible body language when he misses fucking catches. Zeke had like a couple of plays. They also never got Pollard out in the flats. Like he wasn't catching the passes that kind of made him fantasy relevant last season. So I'm going to chalk it up to Mike McCarthy just like totally doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore. And then it's a bummer that Dak hurt his hand. I've said it before on this podcast, but Dak is pretty much the nicest guy on the Cowboys. And it's hard not to root for him because he's genuinely a good dude. But it's super unfortunate what happened with his hand. But the Cowboys looked a little off before that. So if ever it's been time for the Cowboys to tank and Sean Payton coming in as Mike McCarthy is going out, this just feels, this has got all the brewing to that, because it doesn't matter. Jerry Jones is going to expect Cooper Rush to be a serviceable quarterback, and they're going to expect them to win. So that's why I think he's probably going to get fired. He could be the first. He could be my vote now for the first one to lose his job of all the head coaches.
Oh, there we go. That's probably a pretty good line right now.
I feel like, and Ron Rivera moved up on that list, right?
Oh,
he got the first win, so he's a little safe for now,
Hot seat. I don't even remember his
Matt
name.
Rule.
Broncos
Matt Rule's
coach.
the other one for sure.
Matt Rule. Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, Hackett on the Broncos, even though that was a dumb fucking play last night.
Yeah.
Let's break the fucking record for longest field goal ever. That makes more sense than Russell Wilson getting 5 yards. On top of that terrible clock management, like literally, if they were like in super like for sure field goal range, I would understand what they did last night. But it was so ridiculous, like them just running off time. If you're watching the Peyton and Eli broadcast too last night, Peyton's like, call a timeout. Call a timeout. Timeout.
He was trying to call a timeout for them so hard. Yeah. He was like, "Can I call the coach now and just do it for him?"
He's like a part owner of the Broncos too. Yikes, dude.
Yeah.
He'll be on the shareholders meeting.
Yep. And you can see Shannon Sharp too, another Broncos legend.
Bronco
just like
legend.
They're kicking what?
So rough.
He was so mad. Rough. He was so mad.
See, the coach came out today and said, "I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that."
Yeah. He was like, "We probably should have gone for it." It's like, it's what everybody was screaming at their television.
Everyone knows. Yeah.
Yeah. You pay this guy what, $260+ million to go kick a 64-yard field goal. Great call, coach. Great call.
5 yards. All he needed was 5 fucking yards. I kind of feel like Russ even thought that was 4 down territory. So it didn't even matter what happened on third. He's going for it on fourth.
Well, I don't understand why didn't he just call the timeout? Like, I feel like if he's on the Seahawks and he has that rapport, like just call the timeout. But
I think he's not trying to be that guy too hard, He doesn't want to jump in and say I know better. So yeah, and that's what happens.
It's tough. All right, and to wrap up studs and duds, Matt's final pick for a dud is the Chicago weather. It was monsoon season at Soldier Field.
So that's a tongue twister. Only because of that?
I think there were a few other things, so we can get into it. So obviously the weather did not help. I think Kevin mentioned earlier, he said, what looked worse, the Niners or Soldier Field? I would say they were pretty equal. Soldier Field looked pretty fucking terrible. However, the Niners defense looked terrible from a penalty standpoint. I think they had like 12+ penalties, kept the drives alive, left guys open late in the second half to let the Bears creep back into the game. And then by the time that Trey had to make the comeback, it was a literal downpour. You could barely see what was happening. The camera was soaked. It was just a disaster on all fronts. So I think it was a lot of people want to say it's Trey's fault. If you think it was like only Trey's fault, go watch some more of the
Didn't
film.
watch the game.
Exactly. It was the defense's fault. It was the penalty's fault. Trey definitely didn't help them get closer to victory. I'll say that. But also, pending the circumstances of the monsoon, pretty hard to throw the ball when it's torrentially downpouring. You're in a massive puddle for a field, and the ball is slipperier than a Criscoed ham. So it was just tough going, I think, for the Niners all day. They looked good early when it wasn't raining, but it was absolutely tough. Yeah, slip and slide highlight was worth it 100%. And the Niners, I wanted to say, when the Niners did this slip and slide, it was sick as fuck, and we loved it. And then it's a little bit of karma, came back against us. A team got to do it against us, but
wasn't that the Commanders? They beat the Redskins.
Yes.
That was the wet game for the Niners last season.
I think the final score was like 9-6, or maybe even 6-3. It was just ugly. Another one of those ugly Mud Bowl games. And yeah, the resurfaced Soldier Field did not help.
Maybe we should at least say, could the Bears be not as bad as everyone thinks?
That's
their defense looked frisky.
When
Justin
we get
Fields
into
looked a lot better in the second half.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe it's just because Ron's in the chat, but maybe.
Maybe.
I'm just pandering. I could be pandering here.
Ron, stick around for the pick'em section. We'll have a little chat about Bears versus Packers on Sunday night next week. Kevin said Justin Fields slid farther than his longest pass.
Oh man,
I probably did. I wouldn't doubt it.
That checks out.
Hey, McCandu Drums in the chat. Love you, boys. Thanks for holding it down tonight, dude. We love you. Hopefully everything is safe up there. We're glad you're spending time with the family, dude. Let us know how we can help. Once again, in the chat, if you guys are here live, we are spamming that link. Please go donate if you can and help the victims of the Mosquito fire in the Forest Hill area. All right, that wraps it up for the Studs and Duds portion of the show. There were a couple other storylines that I kind of wanted to touch on, though, for just all of week one. One big theme is 7 of the games, which is almost half of them, finished with a deficit of 3 or less points. And included in that was the tie, obviously, between the Texans and the Colts. And then there's
is 0 less than 3?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, 7.
Okay.
So 7 games
Thank you.
with a deficit of 3 or less. And then honorable mention, Jags Commanders, which finished with 6 points, and then Raiders Chargers at 5 points. So, I mean, this may have been one of the best week ones we've had in a long time. It was entertaining throughout. If you were on Red Zone, it was constantly bouncing around. You had the 2 games going to overtime, which carried into the second slate, which is a football Red Zone watcher's dream.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's the best. There's no downtime. It just flows all into each other. So yeah, it was just a wild week one.
I felt like we kind of paid for the end of the second slate with the end of the first slate. Like the end of the first slate was so good that of course the second slate was pretty fucking weak. That's always how it ends up being, right? Like all the great games ended up not being very good games at all. And then the best game in the second slate was Giants Titans.
Yes, dude. Giants Titans was electric.
I was on the edge of my seat. Yeah.
Yeah. We did have Raiders Chargers in the second slate, but it didn't feel like it was that close.
It was a good game. Derek Carr kept on the fucking interception. Yep. Let's talk about that game for a second. Chargers defense looks awesome. That's one thing. When I was watching those highlights, Chargers defense, and maybe it's just because I have a lot of shares of Derek Carr this season, and I feel like they're going to have a pretty good offense. But he threw 3 picks, man. He was getting knocked over left and right, and he with Devontae Adams having an incredible day. I think the Chargers defense is just legit, and the Raiders defense weren't really ready for it, or Raiders offense wasn't ready for it. But we'll see. I think the Chargers might be this helped the case of many people on this podcast saying Chargers are going to be big and win that division.
Yeah, my big takeaway, or mostly 2 big takeaways from this game, was once again Khalil Mack revenge game against the Raiders. He loves fucking up the Raiders.
Loves playing the Raiders, dude. Yeah, dude.
I think he had 3 sacks, forced fumble, bunch of tackles. It was just classic Khalil Mack against the Raiders. And then kind of to what you were saying, it almost was like these teams were both so good, they made each other look worse. Where it kind of was like, wait, are the Chargers not living up to their expectation? Are the Raiders maybe not as good as people hoped. It was kind of both of them were like going back and forth. Carr kept throwing the pick. The Chargers couldn't capitalize on the turnovers because the Raiders defense might be scary good. It was just like,
sneaky,
yeah, it was this weird back and forth of like, are either of these teams, they're either both not good or they're both great and their game plans are working into each other. So I think once again,
week one. And a little week one was happening, you know?
Exactly. I think once again, AFC West is going to be the most electric conference. I think we have Chargers Chiefs on Thursday. That's going to be an absolute blast. Absolute blast. Another thing that kind of ties into all the close games, the kickers had a very tough week this week. 16 missed field goals in 15 games on Sunday and Monday. Obviously, one of them including that 64-yarder at the end of the Seahawks Broncos game. But it was tough going for the special teams units. And I mean, 16 missed kicks. I'm not good at math. That's a lot of points left on the board in 7 games that were decided by a field goal or less.
Yeah, the overs hate week one, dude.
Yeah, dude. I said so bet the week one unders. I didn't look up the stats. I should have. I swear to God, I think week one unders was probably like 75% hit. I wouldn't doubt it if I went back and looked.
I bet the over on all 3 of my bets, Colby.
Because nobody wants to root for an under, Tom. It's not fun. It's not fun to root for an under. So it's just tough. But
I also am not good at listening.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah,
do my thing.
That's why you have a podcast so you can talk at people.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I just want to tell you mine and not give you a chance to talk back to me. Unless you're in the chat. Oh God! Unless you're in the chat, write us up, hit us up.
You go, dude.
Let's see. What were some other fun talking points? Oh yeah, this is a fun one. The Rams suck again. Lol.
Yep.
Kind of. Not really.
How bad do you think they're going to be? Really?
I don't think they're going to be that bad. But
what if Matty Stafford's arm's fucked though?
It could be. I mean, he did not have a great performance. He was. Let me pull up the stat real quick. He went. 29 of 41, so he threw the ball a lot. 240 yards, 1 tutty, 3 picks. Yikes.
He also feels like he really left out like Allen Robinson. Like that was weird. Two targets in total.
The memes have been pretty good.
Tutu Atwell, who's like a random guy. I only know the reason I know him is because he's on my fucking sleeper deep league. He got more fucking targets than goddamn Allen Robinson. It's like, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Allen Robinson, 1 catch for 12 yards. Ben Skroenik, 4 receptions, 25 yards. I saw a lot of funny like memes and tweets that were just like, he only throws to Cooper Kupp and other guys that look like Cooper Kupp. That's it. And it was like,
pretty funny.
Maybe.
I don't know how valid that is. Like Odell was on the team last year. He threw him a ton in the playoff run. So
and Robert Woods. They had a lot of other guys. That's the thing.
I think he just is most comfortable with Kupp. That's more likely, you know.
He spent a training camp and maybe a preseason game and a half. I don't even know if Stafford played in preseason. I haven't followed the Rams that closely. But yeah, it was a lot of the people that drafted Allen Robinson high. I am sorry for you. It was a tough showing, but they're going to bounce back. They're a great football team. I think it's a little bit of Super Bowl hangover. They're going to bounce back. They're going to be competitive in the division, but after watching that game though, I do feel a lot better about the Niners potentially winning this division. And the way the Cardinals played against the Chiefs, we'll talk about that game. Chiefs just obliterated them.
Chiefs look great.
They
Chiefs
look
are my
incredible.
pick in the AFC, and I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I did want to point out one thing. I think we can solve world peace if the Cowboys and the Rams are bad this year. Yes. I think this could be the year the whole world figures it all out as long as the Rams and the Cowboys are bad. That's my hot take.
I would love to see the analytics on where like world peace ranking is when the Cowboys are bad and versus when they're good. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Well, it's more the Rams are the ones that are supposed to be good. The Cowboys have just been bad for a long time. But I just think overall mood of everyone on earth is better when the Los Angeles Rams and the Cowboys are bad. So maybe we can work it out, you know?
It's like the telethon. We can we are the world. We are the chill. It's like every NFL team except the Rams, the Cowboys holding hands, singing together.
Fuck those guys, dude.
I think an honorable mention for studs is definitely Patrick Mahomes. I'm surprised nobody picked him, but he went 30 of 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns.
We expect him to be that good. That's why. He should always be that good.
I guess so.
And the Cardinals are pretty bad too.
Yeah, they did not look good at all. Kyler looked terrible. Did you see the coach from Last Chance U was like roasting Kyler on Twitter
What the
about
fuck?
like there was like a corner blitz and like a corner like basically showed that he was going to blitz. Kyler
Uh,
did nothing. He was like he should have told his receiver to stay there, chip him, then go to the flat. The guy runs a streak, corner comes in, blast Kyler on 3rd and 1 into the
is this the
turnover
coach that
on
got
down.
arrested though for like
Yes, the
fucking?
bald guy who
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah,
swears at
yeah.
his players. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
So
all right,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Enough said.
It's like meh,
Enough
yeah.
said.
They're both like this guy probably doesn't watch more film than Kyler, but it's open debate. Yeah, I mean, Chiefs looked incredible without Tyreek Hill. They didn't need him. Kelsey blew up. Juju 6 receptions, 79 yards. MVS looked great. CEH
Juju had a fumble though.
yeah, Juju did have a fumble.
Mhm.
CEH got
looked
2
awesome.
tutties. Yeah, he looked great rushing and passing. So if you got him in a league, great value for you. I mean, numbers weren't great. If he didn't have the touchdowns, it wouldn't have been great, but he got in the end zone. That's all it counts. That's all it counts. Oh God, John says that the Last Chance U guy called his German player a Nazi. Jesus Christ! Wow, that is
Wow,
aggressive.
dude.
Yeah, all right.
Yikes.
Scum of the earth.
All right. Yikes.
All right. Let's see. What other storylines did I have jotted down? I have, yeah, Cowboys tough going. You kind of already touched on that. I said it was kind of a week for the underdogs as well. I mean, all these close games. You had the Seahawks
They
get the
covered
dub.
a lot of covers. A lot of covers. Not a lot of wins.
Yes, a lot of
A
covers.
lot of covers.
Seahawks got the dub. Falcons. I do want to talk a little bit about the Falcons Saints game. Marcus Mariota
Talk
looked
about
great until I cursed him in our group chat, and I was like, "Marcus is looking great." Immediately fumbled.
Boom.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was like, "Shit!" But what
They look frisky, dude.
They look frisky, but also what a tank job. If they're trying to tank this year, that was an incredible way to tank. I looked like they were trying to win, but I just want to throw it out there. Great tank job by the Falcons. Lost by 1 point. Final field goal at the end of the game. Well done.
I think there's not a whole lot of tanking in the NFL, to be honest.
I don't think
GMs
there
might
is.
tank. Head coaches, Arthur Schmidt's going to get fucking fired if he tanks for real. So that I felt like they were really trying. And Falcons, dude, they look like got a strong defense. Like Saints really did not have it figured out in the first half, and they came back strong. But really, some real dumb fuckery by the Saints really kept the Falcons in this game. And the kicking of Koo, my fucking guy, dude.
Yes.
He had some crazy consistent, especially on a day with very inconsistent kicks. It was incredible to see. And did you see the play at all where it was basically the game was all but tied up, but then a Saints player like body slammed fucking Mariota or one of the players in the Falcons, and it gave Koo a chance to win the game, and they almost won the game.
Yeah.
Saints fans would have been livid, dude.
Oh, livid.
But
It was like that was like another like 60 plus. It was like a 62 yarder, wasn't it?
right? Yep. It would have been a long shot, but still, how dumb can you be, dude?
Yeah.
Just fucking stop. You got the game locked up.
Just make it happen. It was tough to see though. I think it may have been on, it wasn't on that play. It was on their drive when they were going back down the field. The guy got slammed. But the drive before that, the Falcons had a chance to lock it up. It was 3rd and 1. Saints had no timeouts left. 1 minute left. Mariota with the keeper and muffs the snap, picks it up, gets hit short. So I felt bad. I would have loved to see Mariota pull out the dub, but hey, if he's the tank master, he's the tank master. So yeah, we had Seahawks get the dub. Falcons might not be as bad as we think. Sad face, Bears get the win. Another big underdog. Dolphins looked great against the Patriots. Shout out Mike McDaniels. Love the Tyreek Hill quote when he said, he's like, yeah, he's going to need a wheelbarrow to carry those nuts around. He's got huge balls. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Mike
The
McDaniels already a
Belichick
legend.
too, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, the shit that he did in that game is just. I'm a little concerned with the Patriots, to be honest.
I am too, man. They might be really, really tough. Hey, McCandu Drums with the sub. We appreciate you. That is going to go directly to the Mosquito Fire Relief Fund. We're going to be donating that right after this show. Appreciate it, dude. So yeah, the Dolphins looked great. Love Mike McDaniels. Love the new look. Patriots look bad and like bad.
Real bad.
So keep an eye on them. If they have a losing record, does Belichick retire this year, you think? Or is he going to stick around?
I don't know, man. I think it depends on how antsy, Robert Kraft gets about having a bad team. They found a way to make a playoff run last season with that team. And so in theory, they would need to make the playoffs to kind of show that they didn't go backwards. So we'll see. I think I don't know. Bill Belichick's gonna fucking hang it up when he wants to hang it up. He also could just
Yep.
move to a different team, and any team would take him. I just don't know if he really wants to do that.
Yeah, it's very true. I think he wants to see Mac Jones through at least one more year. Like that was probably his decision. Wants to like
100%.
develop him, see if it pays off. Then if it doesn't, yeah, get the fuck out of there. Go do something else. So the Texans looked pretty damn good against the Colts. That was another underdog that I think performed really well.
100%.
Which once
Davis
again,
Mills train.
Davis Mills train. John was on absolutely the right scent trail there. So let's keep an eye on them moving forward. And the Jags and the Commanders, I mean, another game that we thought was going to be garbage ended up being pretty fucking entertaining.
Carson Wentz did some Carson Wentz shit, and I laughed my face off every time he tried to play fucking hero ball. And of course, it was like beginning of the game, he looked awesome, did some real Carson Wentz shit in the middle, and then at the end of the game, he found a way to win. And so it's the same reason why Eagles fans and Colts fans can't handle it, dude. It's just the goddamn roller coaster of the guy. He had some questionable fucking throws though, like he does every time, fucking diving around. Somebody was talking about he looks like he's got the physics turned all the way on whenever he gets hit. He just fucking flails around whenever he gets hit. It's it's tough to watch, but as not a Commanders fan, I'm loving it every week.
Oh, it's a blast. All right, let's see. We got Lucas in the chat who's asking us, "Hey man, who should I start game 2, Brady or Ryan?" So let's see. We got
Matt Ryan. Pull it up who they're going.
Yeah. So Tom Brady's going against the Saints in New Orleans, and Matt Ryan is going to be going against the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
I'd say I would lean toward Matt Ryan throws more yards, but Tom Brady's going to have more touchdown passes. That just feels. I feel like Tom Brady has a higher upside. It just feels that way. Matt Ryan is going to be a smooth operator, but we saw when they get down in the 5-yard line, they're going to run the ball. So Tom Brady just throws more tutties, and I like to think it's going to be more of an exciting game offensively than last week. Like the Cowboys defense held Tom Brady a ton. Like he had a bunch of field goals that he wanted to be touchdowns for sure. So I feel like, and the Saints always play Tom Brady really well, and maybe it's just that Sean Payne ain't around anymore. But I just feel like Tom Brady's going to let out some demons.
I think so too. And if Marcus Mariota can make the Saints look kind of embarrassing,
right?
Then you would think Tom Brady will be able to carve them up. And it could be a shootout. It could be a Brady Jameis Winston shootout for all we know. Matt Ryan against the Jags could be great too.
A man with the best facial expressions, and a man with no facial expressions. That's the matchup. That's the matchup for sure.
I love that. I would probably err on the side of Brady as well. The Jags are obviously, they're not a top tier defense, but the exact reason that Tom just said, if the Colts get the ball within the 10-yard line, they're going to give it to JT. They're going to give it to their backs. So I would go Tom Brady.
If you're projected to lose, go Tom Brady. If you're projected to win, go Matt Ryan. Probably the safer of the two.
There we go. And if we're wrong, don't come back and be mad at us. It's fantasy football. We have no fucking idea what we're talking about.
We have no idea, dude. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, we gave you our best analytical take. All right, let's see. And the Giants. We already talked about the Giants getting the dub. Well done for them. So yeah, week of the underdogs. Kickers suck. A lot of close games. Rams suck. Cowboys suck. It's been a hell of a week one.
We're all the way back.
We're back, baby. We are back. Let's go. All right. Well, I think unless you got something else to wrap up the first half of the show with, we do, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to announce we have a fake ad for you this week. The first time in a long time. So what we're going to do, Tom, you have anything to wrap the first half of the show up or no?
No, I'm excited to listen to this fake ad. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, for those of you that are here with us live in the chat, we are going to keep this going. We're going to play the fake ad. We're going to play the intro again and start the show. For those of you listening to us on the podcast, we love you. Thank you so much for listening to it, especially all the way through. And catch the next episode coming out Thursday morning, maybe even Wednesday night. Once again, check our Twitter, but it will be up Wednesday or Thursday, getting you prepared for Thursday night football. So we love you guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Without further ado, here is the fake ad for, I believe it's Kyler's Camp. So thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. We'll be right back.
Is your QB struggling to absorb your playbook? Does he seem to lose focus and see declines in performance as the season goes on? Would he rather analyze his KD ratio than analyze defenses? Are you deeply terrified that he doesn't have the work ethic to earn that huge extension you gave him? Well, look no further than Kyler's QB Corner, a quarterback tutoring technology designed to give your little guy the extra edge he needs to make your team a contender. Our state-of-the-art facial recognition technology allows you to see if your QB is really watching film or studying your playbook, and it will trigger a warning and a subsequent notification to you if they aren't paying attention. 3 warnings in one session will trigger a mostly harmless but moderately painful jolt to your QB's temples using our patented electroshock therapy Study Buddy headband. With 3 packages ranging from rookie to all-pro to Hall of Fame, you can rest assured that Kyler's QB Corner is the right solution to turn your QB into a QA+.
All right, that was the fake ad. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the intro music. None of this part is going to be in the podcast. So, chat, this is our little moment
This is our
right
moment.
here together.
It's our time.
This is our
Down
moment
here, down
together.
Here, it's our time.
If you guys want to talk shit to the podcast listeners, do it now. Do it now. So I'm gonna pull up the intro and we're gonna run it back. I'm gonna tell you guys it's Thursday, September 15th, and you're gonna fucking go with it. Okay, you're gonna go.
Are we doing Thursday, not Wednesday? Oh yeah.
I mean, I think Thursday. I don't know. I'm gonna be at the
Thursday,
I'm gonna be at the wedding, so I might need you to actually post it. I'll see if I can schedule it in Podbean. I'm not 100%
I think you can. I think you can. Yeah.
We're time traveling, dude. This is gonna be
Shit,
fucking
dude. You missed
sick.
work yesterday, bro. You're fucking gonna get a call.
Yeah, it took us some big brain analytics to figure out how to make this new fucking shit work, but we got it. All right, let me pull up the intro music real quick. I do like this little downtime though. It's kind of fun. It's good to interact with you guys, not under the ring light all the time, you know. What are we doing for Mexican Independence Day? If it's this weekend, I'll be at a wedding. Oh, played that a little too soon. All right, I'm gonna go back to the intro screen. This Friday, yeah, I'll be at a rehearsal dinner. But it should be fun.
I'll just say fuck Spain all Friday, dude.
Yeah. Fuck the
boys aren't down.
conquistadors.
Yeah, boys aren't down for Spain, dude.
All right, I got the intro music ready. I'm gonna go back to our starting soon screen. Hey, Jordan's in the chat. What's up, Jordo? What's
you
up,
win
dude?
this week.
You winded, dude. You winded it. Well done. Well done, dude. Your team is sick. I will say your team is sick. All right, let's restart it. I'm gonna go back to the intro screen. It's gonna clear the chat, and then guys, pretend like we're just starting again. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
And then while we're starting this fail gang, tell me your most embarrassing Mexican independence story. What's some mistakes you made on Mexican independence?
There we
go.
go.
That in the chat.
All right, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the A-Gap Podcast. And now, your host, Colby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the A-Gap Podcast. Today is Thursday, September 15th, and it's definitely not Tuesday, and we are here for Week 2 Pick'ems. That is right. Last episode, we covered all Week 1 for you guys, and we are now here to talk Week 2, give you our predictions, and run you through who is doing the best in our Pick'em pool. That is right.
Woo!
If you're not in the Pick'em pool, you can still join. You might be a few points down, but join us. We got 14 guys in here. Obviously, the 4 of us from the show and 10 of you listeners. You guys are in here.
Thank you.
So it's so fun to interact with you guys and do this with you guys. So join us. It's so fun to do. We really love it. So I will spam that link in the chat after I find it. Tom, let's while I find this link, what are you most excited for Week 2? I'm just gonna throw that at you real quick.
I'm going to have to just start with a Monday night matchup with the Vikings and the Eagles. Two perennial teams that everyone's picking in the NFC going head-to-head very early on in the season. One team feeling real good about themselves, but them Eagles, they get a home opener against the Purple People Eaters. Remember what happened that one time that the Minnesota Vikings came down to Philly in the playoffs when everybody picked the Vikings to win. Big Dick Nick came in huge, tossing touchdown passes left and right. Vikings got the pants beat off them, basically ended their quarterback's career. So birds are going to be fucking hot. It's going to be a great game. Monday night. Can't wait.
Fuck yeah, let's go. All right, I just sent 2 links in the chat. Use the second one because the first one is a link to our Discord. So if you want to join us there, do that too. But yeah, check that out. Kevin just used some points, said not a timeout, but Tom has to call the Eagles flying rats for the rest of the podcast.
Why?
He redeemed time somebody else out, and so unfortunately he's decided to use it on you.
Flying rats, dude. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
give me like a different interpretation. Give me flying rats is so disrespectful.
Maybe just call them the Beagles. How about that? That sounds fun. That's a little easier to do as well.
Like I have us. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Relax. All right. So first things first, let's recap how week 1 pick'ems went. So as you guys have noticed, maybe the podcast listeners, you don't know, it is just me and Tom tonight at recording this for you guys. Matt and John are helping out their families with the Mosquito fire in Northern California. It is pushing closer and closer to Forest Hill, California, which is, a lot of our family members and friends live there. So if you guys have any available resources, please do what you can to help with the Mosquito fire. We're going to be spamming links in the chat all night so that you guys can donate and help out the local community. And if you're just listening to us and you don't have access to the link, just go to sacramentob.com, search Mosquito Fire, GoFundMe. They have verified accounts and you can help people out there. So please help. We have a small community, but we would love to have you guys help out with that. So without further ado, this was going to be the hot sauce gauntlet. However, the person who got last place in week 1 is Mr. Matt Furness himself, unfortunately. So sorry, Matt, but
what was his record?
So Matt went 8-7. Tom and John tied at 9-6. And yours truly, Colby Shawls, went 10-5. So the way the standings are,
which game was it? Did you know which one it was that you?
No,
I
was trying to find it, and I don't know which one it was. I need to go through everyone's picks and see which one it was.
I'm trying to figure out what game me and John bet together, because that must have been the one that kind of kept us at the same range, and then where I split with you and Matt.
I remember you picked one by yourself that did not work. And I think it was Packers, actually.
Packers, yeah, yes. I lost a point there.
So you lost a point on Packers, and we all gained a point with you on Packers. I'm trying to think one that I did by myself, and I don't remember. So I'll have to take a look at it and see which game it was.
You and me ride or died on a couple of them, so maybe just my Packers pick knocked me one win down from you.
That's probably what it was, actually. Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. And then just for all you people listening, I'm just going to list in order who is the fans, the listeners, you guys. So I'm in first alone at 10-5. Then we have quite a few teams at 9-6. So we have BMAC 400, Connor McCann, Hurley, shout out, John, Tom, and William Colligan. So those are all people tied in second place at 9-6. And then everybody tied in third place at 8-7 is Chef Swag. Shout out, another Twitch streamer. Go check out his channel. He's awesome. Does a lot of sports content and Madden content. Then we have Fat Murness, aka Matt Furness. We have Freeds with a Z. Gravis Treen, Kevin Brobin, and Young Lunk. So a bunch of our buddies there. You guys are all tied
Producer
for
Kevin
third.
in the chat, dude.
Producer Kevin in the chat at 8-7, third place.
I'll run up your coffee later, boss. Don't worry. It's coming.
And
just hold tight.
I want to call this guy out. In last place by himself at 7-8, the Spivey Special Podcast.
Hey, let's go, dude.
Sorry, guys.
At least the Steelers won a game. That's
exactly. That's all he cares about. And I'm sure he got that game over all of us too. So shout
Probably.
out Spivey. You got one on us, but you got to work on the rest of it. So those are the standings up until now. We're going to keep obviously updating you guys throughout the season on how the rankings are going to go. But for us, we are only doing week by week for the hot sauce punishment. So with Matt not being here tonight, Matt, this is going to carry over into next week. No hot sauce
ones tonight.
Unfortunately, sorry, not going to happen. We have much bigger things to attend to in our lives. But that'll be carrying over into next week. So Matt will be doing hot sauce. And we talked about in the last episode, if he loses 2 in a row, he's going to have to double up. Or we'll think of something else.
The double dab, as they call it.
There we go. Maybe he'll do 1 dab for the first slate and then another dab for the second slate. Maybe that's how we'll do it.
Crazy, dude.
He'll be lit up. We'll let him figure it out, and we'll work on it with him.
That's only if he loses, though. That's only if he loses. If one of us lose, we'll all do it together.
Exactly.
It'll be a 2-pack.
It'll be a twofer. It'll be a twofer, which it would be fun to see half the podcast struggling.
That's our viral moment, dude. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
That will be absolutely the viral moment. So, all right.
I also want to point out I did something wrong last week. I bet all of the favorites. I didn't pick a single underdog, and I realized at some point I felt like a real piece of shit. So I'm sorry. Pretty sure I got some dogs on this one this week. So I'm not. I think that should be a rule, dude. You can't bet all the favorites. That feels wrong to me.
That's okay. I kind of did that, but I took a couple chances and it paid off. So it is what it is. You got to pick one or two to stretch on.
That's what I said. Well, when all the boys are back, we'll discuss. And I think probably naturally this will happen, but there's got to be at least one dog in there. I felt terrible.
There's got to be one dog. There's got to be at least a dog. All right. So without further ado, let's get into week 2 picks. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to update the little tracker above our head to say.
And then I'll get John's if you want to get Matt's.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Let's do that. All right. So we are going to start. Let me get Matt's pulled up here real quick. All right. We're going to start obviously with Thursday night. We have the Chargers taking on the Chiefs in Arrowhead. It is sure to be an insane AFC West matchup. The Chargers are going to end up getting 4.5 points on the road. This actually changed. It was 3.5 yesterday when I made our document. It is now already at 4.5. The Chargers money line is at plus 175. The over-under is going to be at 54.5. Tom,
huge.
I'll let you and John go first, and then I'll do me and Matt. Then we can switch.
It works out.
Switch back
me and John are going to be
lockstep
in this game. We're both going the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're I don't know John's opinion, but I don't think it's going to be as a big of a blowout as it was against the Cardinals. So I think the Chiefs are going to look really solid. They look very prepared for that game. And I think the Chargers might still be working on some things. It's the Chiefs' own home opener. They always bring the heat, those Chiefs fans. So I mean, eating that barbecue, probably drinking a lot of fucking alcohol, and they'll be ready to rock, yelling at Justin Herbert.
You know, it's funny you say that, Tom, because me and John are doing the exact same thing. We are also both taking the.
You guys are both
taking
Matt's
the Chiefs.
Not here to defend himself on this fucking Charger. He's not even taking his boy, dude.
No.
Wow.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
I think, you know what? I think the Chargers, they looked good against the Raiders, but they didn't look great, where the Chiefs looked great against the Cardinals. It's also in Arrowhead. I think that's probably the big advantage here. Obviously, the Chargers getting 4.5 on the road. So it's a little boring, but yeah, we are all taking the Chiefs.
If I was going to continue to be a degenerate gambler, which I won't, I've learned my lesson. I would be taking fucking Chargers to cover 4.5. Feels very possible because this is a Thursday night game. It's prime time. This is the kind of game that ends up being close. I think 4.5. I feel like decided by a field goal would be a little more accurate. So I don't hate that betting action. Also, all you listeners out there, take the Chargers. You just got a game on us potentially because this seems like a lot. This seems like a pretty close game. So this might be the one.
There you go. Might be the one to take us over on. All right. That's pretty much it for that. Moving on, we got Carolina against the New York Football Giants. Giants look pretty good against the Titans week 1. Carolina looked not great early against the Browns and had kind of a late surge. I'll go ahead and start us off on this one. Once again, John and I
change the graphic.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got a lot to do here today.
Take your time.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So John and I are in cahoots. We're both taking the Giants.
You and Matt.
Oh, me and Matt. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Me and Matt are both taking the Giants. So We like what we saw out of Saquon. We like what we saw out of Danny Dimes. We're going to keep rolling with this team. They're going to roll in hot after their first week 1 victory in I think 6 years is what I heard on the broadcast. So we're just going to roll with them. Baker didn't look too hot. I think the Giants are going to do just enough at home to squeak this out. Just once again, Baker's a little shaky. I don't think he's going to have a get right game on the away side. So I'm taking the Giants. I'm sure Matt has the same sentiment.
Well, it's funny you say that because me and John are on the same page, and we're taking the goddamn Carolina Panthers.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I don't have a good reason. I don't have a good reason besides the fact that Giants are going to giant. I feel like there's no way that this rolls on. And I also think that Baker's better than what we saw, and so I think it'll kind of level out a little bit. But they are not the favorites, so this is one of my dog picks. I'm feeling like the Panthers, they're frisky, and their defense played well enough at times against what I think is actually a pretty decent run game. But we'll see. I think the Panthers have a chance. They're going to be looking real bad if they're 0-2. Like I said, Matt Rule is playing for his life right now. Brian Daboll is probably going to be the coach the next 3 years off of just week 1 alone. So,
that's
who wants it more? Who wants it more?
Did you see him
me
partying?
And Matt are going Panthers.
You see him partying in the locker room after the game too? Oh,
that's a video I want to watch.
He was just dancing. He looked like he was trying to do the gritty. Like, it was fucking awesome. It was great. Also, yes, Kevin, thank you for the reminder. Kevin in the chat says, gamble responsibly if you feel like you have a gambling problem. Please call 1-800-522-4700. Also, I forgot to give you guys the lines on that game. Panthers are going to get 2.5 on the road. Money line is plus 115. So the Giants are favorites at
the
home.
Under is kind of scary low.
Yeah, maybe 43. 43.
Give me that over. I'm just shaking to bet on another over, dude.
I need another over in my life.
I need another over, dude. One's gonna hit, right?
Well, one of them's gonna hit. They might all hit. Who knows, Tom? You never know.
Yeah, I know.
All right, moving on. We're gonna go down to Baltimore, where the Dolphins are gonna take on the Ravens. The Dolphins are going to get. Oh no, I'm sorry. I skipped one too far ahead. We're going Colts Jags. I updated the graphic. I got too much going on right now. Colts Jags. Colts are gonna be the favorite, the 4-point favorite. Jags are gonna get 4 points at home. Their money line is gonna be plus 170. Over under is set at 46.5. Tom, go ahead and start us off. Who do you and John got?
I'm gonna take the Indianapolis Colts because I believe they are better than what they did last week. I think they're going to overcome, and they're a better team. I've been wrong here before, but I believe that they will overcome that. But my good friend John McCann, he's a little bit spicier than me.
Ooh.
John McCann is taking those Jags to fucking money line and win this game and beat the Colts. I think he hates the Colts because he's such a big Texans guy. But, Colts can't be not first place without losing to teams like the Jags. And the Jags look frisky, obviously. I think they're going to win some games somewhere in here. But I don't believe it is this one. I'm going Colts. John's going Jags. What do you guys got?
All right. I am going to be riding with you, Tom, and I'm going to be taking the Colts as well. I think they're going to be hungry after the tie. I think Jacksonville just doesn't have it together. I think, as you alluded to in the last podcast, I think that Matt Ryan is going to throw the fuck out of the ball. However, JT is going to put it in the end zone. So I am taking the Colts, and Matt is also going to be taking the Colts. So John is going to be riding solo,
going big,
taking the Jags. He could get a big dub here, but I don't know if you guys saw. Did you see the video of Trevor Lawrence trying to hype the team up in the locker room before they walked on the field this week or last week? It was, dude. He was walking out, and then just turned around. He's like, all right, guys, you know what? Let's just it's time to show them who we are. Let's just go out there and let's just play let's play our ball. And everyone was like, all right, Jags.
Okay.
It was really he wasn't amped up, didn't even raise his voice. It was very, very odd. So I think he's just trying to be calm, cool, long flowing hair guy, and it just did not play at all. Kevin makes a great point in the chat. He said, what isn't a gamble is helping the people of Forest Hill, California. Use the link in the chat. Go donate. Go help some people rebuild their house that has been burnt down. Thank you. Let's move on. All right. Now we are going to be talking about the Dolphins and the Ravens. So we have Mike McDaniel and the wonderful new Dolphins, speedy as fuck. going to be taking on another extremely fast team in the Baltimore Ravens. This game is going to be happening in Baltimore. The Dolphins are going to get 3.5 points on the road. The money line is set at plus 150. The over-under 43, which I think seems a little low. It does seem a little low.
The under, Colby, once again.
Oh,
the over, dude.
That's taking the over. I need another over in my life. I need another over in my life.
Say first.
All right, let me find it here in my
this is
phone.
This is one of his guys.
Matt is taking the Dolphins.
Oh,
baby.
I knew he would. I knew he would.
He's a big Dolphins guy. Dolphins
that's
on the
his,
road.
Underdogs. Let's go.
Yeah,
all right.
They're feeling swaggy. Maybe he feels that the speed of the Dolphins won't match up with the Ravens defense. I would assume that's where he would go. Tyreek might have a big game. Tua's going to figure it out, throw a lot of quick slants. I think the Ravens are great on defense, but they have been kind of susceptible in the air and susceptible to a lot of yak yards.
It's in Baltimore, though. That makes me feel a little bit more comfortable when I pick. I'm taking the Ravens. I'll tell you right now.
Yep.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Yep.
Are you taking the Ravens?
I'm also taking the Ravens.
John's also taking the Ravens. We're all taking the Ravens except for Matt. This is his outlier one here. So, I don't know. It just feels like Lamar's going to win. I think it's going to be one of the better games of the whole week, though. I think there's a chance that this one might be popping, especially for the early slate.
Oh, yeah. But, this could be a surprising game.
Yep, 100%. But I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah, I feel like Baltimore at home. I mean, I might be spoiling a lot of my picks here. You said a lot of favorites last week. I'm taking a lot of teams at home this week, and I don't know why. It was just kind of the way it panned out. I just felt that the better teams were at home this week. So, yeah, that's kind of my spoiler a little bit for maybe the next pick. Okay, moving on. We have the Patriots taking on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. However, the Steelers are getting 1.5 points at home. Money line is even money. Seems like a hell of a mortal lock from me because I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh straight up. I'm probably even going to bet the money line. The Patriots looked so bad. And I mean, they played the Dolphins. Do we think the Dolphins are better than the Steelers? Right now, I'm not going to make that assessment, but I think they're on par with each other.
Yes, they're better. Dolphins are better. Defense or Steelers are better.
I
think
agree.
That's a safe bet right there.
And New England doesn't have a great
Patriots
offense.
Defense. Yeah, you thought the Patriots couldn't score points on the fucking Dolphins. Just wait till they play the Steelers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So Steelers even money line. That's gonna be my mortal lock this week. I'm taking Pittsburgh. Let me find Matt's pick here. He's also taking the Steelers. So him and I are ride or dying with the steel curtain. Who you guys got?
Me and John are also taking the Steelers.
There we go.
We got an A-gap sweep here.
Yeah.
Patriots is like just hard to bet on them after fucking last week, dude.
Yeah, I almost want to like check Bovada and make sure that I didn't fuck up the line because that seems crazy to me. Unless Vegas knows something
also,
we don't.
40 over under is really funny.
Real low.
Mitch Trubisky versus McCorkle, dude. That's such a where have these franchises gone to? Like Steelers Patriots used to be that was Sunday night every single time, right? Now we got Mitch Trubisky and Mac Jones our quarterbacks, and the whole world's different.
Oh, look at this. The line has already shifted to Steelers +1. So you're not getting that half point anymore if you're betting it tonight. So
watch out.
Dude, I'm telling you, check.
Also, don't look at our lines.
Check. I'm telling you, check the lines Monday night. You will get the best lines ever Monday night, right after Monday Night Football. That's the way to check it. But you can also get fucked, but a majority of the time, you can get a good advantage if you check them earlier in the week. So just another betting tip for you, Tom, as you continue to be
as I learned
degenerate.
No, I'm never gambling again. That's what I decided.
Okay, yeah, sure, dude. No, yeah, sure.
I'm never gonna do that again.
Yeah. Tom, if you feel like you have a gambling problem, just go ahead and call 1-800-522-4700.
All right, just 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, I think it is actually. All right, moving on. We're gonna go down to Cleveland, where the Jets are gonna be traveling down to take on the Browns. The Jets are gonna get 6 points on the road. The money line for them is +210. The over/under for this game also pretty low, 40.5. Seems kind of right for these teams, but just another low over/under. Who you guys got?
I'm gonna be taking the Browns, just because the Jets look really bad and Flacco looks really bad, and the Browns look surprisingly good for what we thought they would be. So it's hard for me not to take the Browns. They're at home, right? I think they're at home. Yeah.
Yes, Browns are at home.
It's just, right now, while Deshaun Watson's on the team, people root for the Browns. So, right? Isn't that people like Jacoby
I think
Brissett,
so.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like an underdog figure in a way. They got all these running backs, Stefanski people like. So I think they're gonna win. This is gonna be the start of a lot of games that I think there's a lot of potential for underdogs covering this week, even though not a lot of underdogs winning. So this is one of the games that I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets kind of find a way to make it competitive, but maybe they're trash. So going Browns. I assume John's also going Browns. Let me verify. Yep, he's going Browns.
Yeah, he's in the chat. He said agreed to what you were saying, and then he
Yep.
also said Jacoby was 5-2 with the Colts. Great point. I mean, Jacoby does know how to win. I mean, they showed that they knew how to win in the game last week, and I think me and Matt also believe they're going to win this week too. So once again, it's an
There we go.
A-gap sweep. We're all taking the Browns.
There we go.
Not a lot of believers in what Flacco's doing with the Jets. They looked pretty abysmal week 1. So
Veteran ball.
yeah, John's even saying in the chat that he has better weapons now with the Browns than he ever did with the Colts, which is very true. So
True.
yeah, I think we're all going Browns. We're going down to Browntown. All right, moving on. We're going to go a game that we talked a lot about in the last podcast and earlier on the stream. We're going Bucks versus Saints in New Orleans. The Saints are going to get 3 points at home. Bucks -3 on the road, not too shabby if you ask me.
That's not a terrible bet.
Yeah, over under is at 44.5. That, if you think this is going to be a shootout, could also be pretty low. Tom, this might be, your hand is starting to really vibrate.
How many parlay overs can I do in one ticket? Let's see. Let's find out.
I would suggest
I'm done gambling.
You should do like 3 2-game parlays. There you go. Rather than 1 6-game parlay. Just letting you know.
But the payout's so crazy.
Yeah, but exactly, right? Exactly. You go ahead and start while I track my picks.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Bucks because I think Tom Brady is a little frustrated with his offensive output on Sunday Night Football, even though they did win. And I know you can't really see from his eyes, but I think he is going to be very competitive to beat the Saints for one of the first times in a while. So I'm going Bucks.
All right. Sean also rocking Bucks.
And John, sneaky pick. He's going Saints.
Oh,
gotta say though, Saints do have a great record against Tom Brady, so you never know.
Okay. Oh, here we go. John in the chat says Saints D at home. Stadium will be rocking. All right. John, you're going to be riding solo. Matt and I are both taking the Bucks here as well.
Oh, shit.
I just feel like that defense is so fucking rude. And Kamara now has a rib injury. He's questionable. The defense could step up, but I think it could be similar to the Cowboys game where the defense just dominates and Bucks kind of get away with a few touchdowns, couple field goals, and skirt out of New Orleans with a win. John says Jameis is gonna eat that W, baby. I would love.
Dude, also another weird
for
quote from him. We didn't even talk about that. Like, there was pain. There's pain everywhere.
Yeah,
fucking his eyes are like fucking crazy.
It was all pain. It was all pain.
It was all pain. That was crazy, dude. That was quite a quote. He is full of them, though. I guess he's got a podcast. You know this?
What?
Jameis has a podcast, I guess. I didn't hear. I recently found out about this.
I gotta get on that.
I know. I got to hear it out.
Where do I listen to that?
I know. I gotta hear what he has to say, man.
That sounds great. I need to listen to that. All right. Moving along, the final game of the first slate, we have. Oops, let me type it in here properly. We have the Commanders taking on the Lions. The Commanders
line here.
So the line here, Commanders are going to get 2.5 on the road. Lions are the betting favorite. Over/under
back in Detroit, right?
Yep.
There. This is fucking round 2.
Correct.
They're coming in hot. Dan Campbell had so many shots of espresso from Starbucks, dude. He's gonna be feeling fucking good.
Horseshoe lipping.
Yeah, horseshoe lipping. Yeah. He's gonna be fucking screaming, but also loving his teammates, even the ones he has to cut. Yeah. He's gonna emotionally involve.
It's pretty crazy to think if I would have told you that the over/under for this game would have been higher than Patriots, Steelers, Dolphins, Ravens, Colts, Jags, Panthers, Giants, Bucks, Saints.
You can see it after this fucking first week, though. You can see it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Lions can score, right? They scored against the Eagles, who a lot of people think is a top-tier defense. The
How
Commanders.
many-
But this Commanders scored against the Jags. Like,
How many interceptions is Carson Wentz gonna throw? What's the over under on that? My guess is 2.5 is the line.
I'd take under. I think he'll throw 2.
Oh, turnovers.
Oh,
I'm going 3. Let's go turnovers.
over.
3.5.
Hammer the
3.5
over.
though.
Yeah, 2
dude.
interceptions, 2 fumbles. Yeah,
That's a Carson Wentz fucking. That's a everyday, bro.
it's Carson quad.
Yeah, dude, it's Carson Quad. It's 4-pack Carson turnovers.
Kevin says Vegas knows all. He might be onto something here. I mean, this game could go ballistic.
Might be fun though.
John says never bet on Wentz unless it's this specific time. I bet on Wentz. So Tom, why don't you go ahead and read the pick? Sounds like he might be taking the Commanders.
We got John's taking the Commanders in Detroit. John's going crazy this week, dude, and give a fuck.
I love it. I absolutely love it. He says Wentz will be the reason I have to guzzle devil sauce next week. Fuck.
Checks out.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, go for it, Tom.
I'm going Lions. I think they find their first win against the Washington Commanders. Commanders playing a little above their head, I think. And Lions, I think, might just be okay. They might just be a good team, or at least an okay team. And I think they should beat a okay team in the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Lions as well. And Matt is with us. He's also taking the Lions. We are 100%
totally
buying what they're
regret that
selling.
pick.
We
yeah,
could.
I know that pick could totally backfire on us three.
You know what would be fun? It would actually be really fun if we all ended up like tying next week and we all just have to do hot sauce for the week 3 pick.
That fucking sucks. Fucking sucks.
That would be great.
The worst case scenario.
Oh, that would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, I'm buying what the Lions are selling. I love it. I think even after them playing the Eagles, I feel better about them moving forward than I did. I was already hyped up on Hard Knocks. I loved watching. Yeah, dude. The head coach. I'm having a total brain fart. Dan Campbell.
Yep.
He literally has like, if you look at his jaw, it looks like he has like marbles in his mouth. And I wasn't sure. I was like, is that just his jaw, or does he just have massive lips in? He just has massive lips in all the time. It's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Oh, dude. Big jaws.
Big jaws.
New first chat from Trey Bezo. Lions money line or spread, dude. I feel like I could see that. I think Lions are going to cover. I feel pretty good. The over-under scares me, though. If I'm doing a classic Tom parlay, that I would probably not do that.
Yeah, over-under scares me. I would go Lions to cover as well. I mean, if it's going to be a close game and it comes down to a field goal, I think the Lions are still probably going to win it at home. So I think 2.5
like
safe.
That crowd was rocking, dude. Eagles had to work real hard to get that win.
It hasn't moved at all. It's still at 2.5. So yeah, I would lock in. I mean, the Lions, you're going to get. It's minus 135 on the money line. It's minus 110 to cover. I mean, what? You're gonna gain a couple extra bucks. Take the spread. Have fun with it. I don't think it'll be that close of a game. I think they're gonna win by at least a touchdown, in my opinion, or at least over 3. So I go spread.
Good one.
All right.
Feels good.
So we're all. I guess Commanders. John is really separating himself this week. It could really pay off
for him, or really poorly,
or it could end up in some really hot sauce. All right, now we are moving on to the second slate of games on Sunday. We are now talking about the Lions versus the Rams in SoFi Stadium.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, in SoFi Stadium, the Lions are going to get 10.5 on the road. Over-under is 47.5.
I was just saying this is the beginning of what feels like the second slate has all these crazy spreads, which is maybe it's a little rare. Generally, second slate sometimes a little bit closer, but I feel like you could do a weird. I was looking at the lines earlier. A weird parlay with a couple of these second slate games.
Parlay, Tom?
Yeah, dude. you throw in a couple of parlays like Falcons to get. I think the Falcons can lose by 10.5 points, right? Like I think they could cover the spread there. That's a pretty big fucking spread for a frisky Falcons team that we saw play a hell of a game and almost win, and then a Rams team that looked like complete trash. Obviously, they're going to play better, but I'd be taking the points there for sure.
I would also say the Rams are not playing the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. So I think
true
10.5.
But still, 10.5 is a lot. That's a lot though.
They're also at home. They're at home. That's why they're at home. So they're gonna get the extra points. I'm not gonna touch this game with my money. I will say it just when the lines get that big, I get a little scared to take the underdog. Like for example, though, I will say little spoiler alert: Seahawks Niners. I'm a Niners fan. I love the Niners. 10.5 points for a Seahawks team that we just watched take on the Broncos and win.
Look competent.
That seems like a lot of points. So, and they're also
what do you got for this
so.
one? I think it's probably going to be a fast go around here.
Let me see. It's probably going to be a very fast go around. I'm pretty sure I took the Rams. Let me just double check.
Me and Matt took the Rams. We took the Rams.
Why don't I see this game on my? Oh yeah, I'm taking the Rams, and Matt's taking the Rams. Yeah, A-gap sweep, easy. Trey Bizzo also said it's not deep enough in the season for the Lions fans to be disappointed.
There's still hope.
Fair.
Don't worry, it's coming.
I wouldn't doubt they kind of had the same trajectory last year where they played the Niners. They were getting their ass kicked, and they kind of came back, and they're like, we just came back against a really good NFC team. We can do this. We'll see what happens against the Commanders. I just think they looked a lot better against the Eagles than they did against the Niners last year, I will say. So, all right. Oh, shit. I just closed my Twitch chat. Let me pull that back up real quick, and then we'll move on to the next game. Granted, I can see the chat in the stream, but I like to have a little side chat too. All right. Moving on. I just basically spoiled the surprise. We're going to be talking Seahawks Niners in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, or as the media will tell you, San Francisco. So, the Seahawks are going to get 10.5 on the road. Their money line is at plus 360, which I believe is about where it was against the Broncos. So people made great money this last week. The over-under is going to be set at 42.5. Tom, I'm going to ask you. So me, Matt, and John, all Niners fans. I assume we're all going to be taking the Niners. So I'm going to ask you, Tom, who you got?
I'm taking the Niners. Yeah, of course.
All right.
I think they're going to find a way. I don't think Seahawks are going to do some weird shit here and pull off a crazy win. I also want to point out that Vegas fucking hates the Seahawks.
Hates them. I mean,
you
it
also
made
spelled
sense against
Seahawks
the Broncos.
wrong. So I see
whatever. Seahawks, I hate them, dude. They're playing the Niners.
Dude, fuck the Seahawks.
I'm gonna make that a running bit that every team that's playing the Niners, I'm just gonna intentionally spell their name wrong.
I like that. That's funny.
It's hilarious. Just already start the mind
Especially
games.
NFC West. Get in their head, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a big get right game for the Niners. Obviously, I'm looking for the defense to commit no penalties at all. I'm looking for Trey Lance to have a great game. Yeah, it'd be a miracle if any defense. Yeah, exactly right. It'd be a miracle if they committed no penalties, but at least not 12 that continue the drive over and over and over again.
Totally.
The one shitty thing about this game that I saw on Twitter today, it might rain.
Oh, no.
So it might be another soggy Sunday for the 49ers, which would be devastating.
California?
Yes, in Santa Clara. It's like the one day of the week that it's gonna rain. So it's getting to be fall.
Crazy.
You know, it's the seasons are changing. It's gonna start raining soon. So yeah, I would be pretty pissed if it rains again and Trey has a bad game. Then everyone's like, put Jimmy in. It's like, dude, he's played 2 wet games. But I digress. I'm taking Niners. I think the Niners are gonna have a great game against the Seahawks. I will say though, I don't know if 10.5 is gonna happen. I would love for us to beat them by at least 14.
Especially in a rain game, dude. If it becomes a rain game, 10.5 seems even more so unlikely. It's just gonna be close and gritty fucking football the whole time.
Yep. Also, if it's raining, check the under. Trey Bizzo says he's buying the
100%.
Lions hype. We are too, dude. We are too. So yeah, check the under if it's raining. All right, on to the next one. I think this might be tied for, except Chargers Chiefs. This next game is going to be tied for the highest over-under of the games. Or this is the highest over-under on Sunday. We have a higher one on Monday. So Cardinals taking on the Raiders. Cardinals are going to be on the road heading to Vegas. They're actually going to get 6 points on the road against the Raiders. Money line is 205 for the Cardinals. Over-under 51.5. So this could easily be a shootout between Carr and Kyler. Who you got?
Feels like one of those games. If you're a Raiders fan, you got a real nut up here. Like, they're supposed to be good. Vegas thinks they're going to be good. This is a game you absolutely have to win if you're the Raiders, if you want to compete in the division you're in. So I'm taking the Raiders over the Cardinals, and John is also taking the Raiders over the Cardinals.
You sure about that? In the chat, he just said Raiders getting disrespected.
I know.
Oh, well, disrespected by the line. I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. This is going to be an A-gap sweep. We're all taking the Raiders. Once again, just seems like they are way better than the Cardinals. They just look so bad against the Chiefs. Kyler looked like he didn't know what he was doing. There's not even a new Call of Duty game out yet. Like, he just was like scrambling, not doing much, getting sacked a lot. So I don't know if it's that he finally got his contract, so he's kind of just like easing up a little bit. I don't know.
How many losses till we're on Cliff Kingsbury watch of getting fired?
I mean, if
losses
I would say if they're, I mean, they could be last in the division, honestly, if the Seahawks keep playing the way they played against the Broncos. But
totally.
if they lose 6, 7, if they lose 7, it's like a real
they lose
conversation.
7 straight, it's fucked. But
oh,
yeah,
7 straight. Oh my God, yeah. If they lose 3 or 4 straight, that
Mhm.
ESPN's gonna pick up that line right away.
100%, dude.
Yeah, love you, Drew. Shout out, go Raiders.
Yeah,
Let's
dude,
go.
Raiders,
we're all,
baby. I
we're
got a
all
lot
on
of-
your side this
A lot
game.
of Derek Carr shares. Like I said, I'm a big. I've invested a lot, so I need it to turn around, dude.
Invested in Tesla, Neo Ford, big car guy. Big car guy. All right, moving on to the next game. We got the Bengals versus the Cowboys in Dallas.
Man,
This one's going to be brutal. It would have been a lot more fun if Dak didn't get hurt. The Cowboys are going to get 8 points at home. Money line is plus 275, over under 43.5. I sense and smell an A-gap sweep coming here.
absolutely. Bengals. I want to know how many LSU and Bengals fans are going to show up to that fucking stadium just to watch their team wreck.
Oh, maybe quite a few. It's not too far away.
Joe Burrow's pissed too. Joe Burrow is ready to make a move.
Oh, yeah. Especially after that last game, he's going to be ready to torch their defense.
Even though Micah Parsons is probably going to sack him 5 fucking times, but they're still going to win by. They're going to win by 14 or more.
Yeah, 100%. They'll find a way. But yeah, same thing over here. Bengals all the way. Even betting wise, I mean, -8. Granted, their defense, like, they didn't have many defensive injuries. I would say the Cowboys. I think they had 1 actually against the Bucks.
They lost a lineman before they lost a lineman and
immediately. They lost that lineman so fast.
Yikes, dude.
It's looking bad. So yeah, I wouldn't doubt the Bengals could cover 8 points on the road against the Cowboys.
I know, maybe that's the play.
The Cowboys aren't going to score, in my opinion, probably not more than 17. So I think the Bengals can easily score 28, right? Easily. So I'm going Bengals, and I might even take them -8. Once again, it's a big spread, but they're a good fucking football team. So Bengals all the way. All right, let me get the next one queued up. The next one coming in, we have the Texans versus
Monday?
the Broncos.
Oh, no,
not yet. We're not there yet. This is the last game of the second slate. So we got
big spread
Texans,
again, right? Yeah,
another big spread. Dude. Texans gonna get 10 points on the road in Mile High. Money line plus 375.
Ask me who John's taking.
Tom, who's John taking?
Texans, baby. Houston, let's go.
Bam. He's a big Texans boy.
He is. Well, and if this bet was for the Texans to cover, I think I'd be down, you know?
Same.
But I don't know, man. In Denver, the Russell Wilson project is pretty fucked if they lose to the Texans at home.
Dude.
It's like
they're going to be lighting the stadium on fire. It'll be nuts.
Dude, but honestly, $20 on plus 375. You can't hate that too much. Fucking throw that $20 out there. But I'm like I said, I'm retired from gambling. But if I wasn't, I'd be doing $20 minimum on that plus 375 money line. Feels good.
I think you're retired from gambling until you get your next paycheck. I think that's maybe how it's gonna go.
I'm done, dude. I'm out.
Yeah, you're out the game 1 week. You wash your hands clean.
It was a fun ride.
Oh my god. John said sleeping on this defense, talking about the Texans absolutely being undervalued right now. Yeah, dude. And hey, Russell Wilson just went against the Seahawks defense that surprised a lot of people in the prime time stage. So I 100% will probably be taking Texans to cover. Oh yeah, look at that. Those Tommy heads shaking. Jordan said, I lost $400 at the CBC the other night. RIP. Sorry, dude. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud.
Rip, dude.
1-800-GAMBLE responsibly, I think is the number. Dude, something like 1-800-GAMBLER.
All of us need to call that number, dude. We're all
dude. I had a great day until I put money on the Seahawks and I was real sad. So or money on the Broncos, excuse me.
There it is.
All right. You know what? Matt is also going to be taking the Texans. They are buying into the hype together. I am not as hyped. I'm going to be taking Denver, but I will take Texans to cover. I'll make that maybe a second mortal lock.
Ooh, I like
but yeah,
that.
I think Denver at home. Russ is going to be hungry. They need some good vibes going. They're going to find a way to win. Also, now that the coach made the mistake, he's going to be ballsy. He's going to be going for it. He's going to be trying to win the fans over. So I'm taking Denver at home to beat Houston.
A lot of motivation. A lot of motivation to win that game for the Broncos.
A lot of motivation to win that game. All right. Sunday night, you ready? Da, 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 brr, brr. All right. We got the Bears taking on
Just
the
a little bit of
Packers.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me get the drops for you.
Today. That was
I'll
great.
take
Yeah.
four.
Yeah.
Little 8% Cody never hurt anybody. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Fuck them. Dude. It's Canadian aspirin. A little bit of Cody in it. Just enough to give you that pop.
I watched that clip came up today, and I guess it was talking about like the Jets were playing on Sunday night, and he was talking before the game about how pissed he was, how trash the game was going to be with Jets on Sunday night. So yeah, just a little bit of codeine,
Yeah, just a little
and
bit.
he says he talks about how he gets it. Well, now there's always a Blue Jays game, and I go up there and I go to the CVS, and they're like, "From the States, eh?" When he's buying fucking 6 bottles.
Dude.
The classic.
I'll take 4 of them.
I'll take 4 of them.
Take 4 of them. Yep.
From the States,
Great.
huh?
All time.
Yeah.
All time, dude.
All-time boomer moment. But all right, Sunday night, Bears versus Packers. Bears are going to get 10 points going into Lambeau Field. Money line plus 335, over under 43. Yeah, dude. Another big spread. Another Packers team that is going to be hungry at home. But a Bears team coming in off a big dub against the Niners in sloppy Soldier Field. Who do you guys got?
I think it's a clean sweep over here. Let me verify. Yes, it is. We're both going Packers, even though, we're talking about a 1-0 team against an 0-1 team. Fucking, you can't rest on our, what's the actual record here? But
right.
There's no way they're gonna play that bad 2 weeks in a row. It's the Bears. Sorry, Ron, if you're still in the chat. It's the Bears.
All right. Matt is also going to be taking Green Bay. This is my dog. I'm taking the Bears. Let's go. Let's go. This is my one dog. This is my one away dog. And only because they beat the Niners, I just want them to look better. But also, you know what?
Big dog.
The Packers looked abysmal passing the ball.
Bad.
Chicago doesn't have a terrible defense, I will say. Granted, the weather gave them a lot of help. The defense didn't look terrible. So
Roquan Smith's still playing, even though he doesn't want to be a Bear.
Exactly. He's still there. They still got a decent pass rush. I think Green Bay is going to get a little scared, but you know what? I think Chicago's going to come in hungry, not even hungry, but just like ready to keep it going. They got a little momentum after the Niners.
They were exactly
by
10.
I
so
know.
Fuck it,
Let's go. Let it ride. Let's ride, baby.
Yeah.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Fucking
a little bit better than Russell Wilson, but yeah, let's
exactly.
Ride.
Let's ride. I'm going Nick Cage. Let's ride, baby.
Let's ride.
So yeah, dude, that's my big dog of the week. I'm taking Chicago just for fun. I mean, I took a lot of home teams. I took a lot of favorites. I'm trying to keep the pick'ems record high, but I had to take a dog, so I'm taking the fucking Bears, dude.
Brian Daboll, he's with us, guys. Look at those balls. There we go. I like it.
Right fucking here. Money line plus 335. I'm probably not gonna bet it, but I want him to win. Let's fucking go Bears. All right. Oh wait, no, we did it wrong. We should have done Sunday night. Sunday night. All right, so now let's do the proper. We have 2 games on Monday night. All right, first Monday night game. We have Tennessee. We have the Titans taking on the Bills in Buffalo. This one's gonna be tough for the Titans to take. They're also gonna be getting 10 points on the road. Money line also plus 335. Massive spreads this weekend.
If I was a gambler, I'd be getting all in this week.
Give me the dogs.
But I'm not. Like I said, I'm not.
Like I said, I'm not. I don't gamble.
I'm retired.
Yeah,
exactly.
Over under's 49.5 on this one. I mean, is anybody taking the Titans?
Is it an A-gap sweep?
Yeah, it's gonna be an A-gap sweep. Buffalo, Bills, all the way. They're gonna ride. I mean, it's.
It might be frisky. I wouldn't
I
see
don't
just
think
the coach
so.
alone makes me think Tennessee's defense might play a little bit better than Rams defense last week. I feel like they'll be slightly more prepared than Rams defense was obviously not. But that offense, I do not see how that offense.
Yeah.
Fucking Robert Woods, Traylon Burks, Tannehill, Derrick Henry, but again, that's their only guy, so I don't know.
He got rocked last week.
He did. He finally got knocked over like he's knocked over so many before him.
Yep. Finally got his karma coming back to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bills all the way. I mean, not much to say there. I think if Tennessee beats them, it's maybe if the Bears don't beat the Packers, Tennessee beating Buffalo would be the biggest upset of the week, I would say. So
it would with a week of upsets, that would be crazy.
Yes, exactly. So just Buffalo all the way. All right, let's move on. We can make it quick. This is the one that let's spend a little bit of time on this one. So this is the one we got the Vikings taking on the Eagles at the Link in Philly. Vikings plus 2.5 on the road, plus 120 money line, over under 51.5. So the Vegas thinks it's going to be a big time shootout. So Tom, how about I'll go first. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish up. So I'm going to be taking the Vikings. Sorry, love you.
Boo,
sorry, love you. Sorry, love you. Sorry, love
bitch.
you. Matt also will be taking the Vikings. Sorry, love you. Sorry, love you. Sorry, love you.
Boo, bitch.
I mean, the Vikings just look nuts against the Packers, who the Packers are supposed to have a great defense. Granted, they only scored, what was it? I think like 27 or something like that. I would have to look back at my stats, but I just think the passing attack is so damn good. Dalvin Cook is still healthy. It's early in the season. Their offense is firing on all cylinders. I do think it's going to be a shootout, and I think they're going to get you guys by like literally a field goal. That's why the spread is so low. It's going to be so close. I honestly think this game, whoever wins this game has the ball last. That's, I think, how this game's going to go. So I think it's going to be the Vikings, unfortunately. So I love you, Tom, but I'm sorry. Vikings.
Just to get out of the way, John's also taking the Vikings.
Of
boo,
course.
boo, bitch. Sorry, John.
Of course.
But come on, guys. Kirk Cousins is going to throw an interception somewhere in here. He had all the mojo against the Packers. They're going to be riding way too high on themselves. Coming into fucking Philly. Home opener Philly. On a Sunday night, dude, or on a Monday night. That place is going to be fucking popping. And I cannot wait. It's going to be exciting shit. And Eagles are going to win. And I think they're going to cover.
Ooh, I like it. I honestly,
they're going to get ahead and run the ball. That's why I think they're going to get ahead and run it out.
I would love for you if the Eagles won. I would. I just, on paper.
Darius Slay gets a pick on Kirk Cousins and a ball intended for Justin Jefferson. Guaranteed going to happen. Quote me on it.
See, I don't think JJ has a big game. I think it's going to actually go. I think Cook might have a big game, and I think Thielen might have a big game because JJ blew up so much week one.
No way he's going to be that high.
The Packers did not have an answer for him. It was ridiculous. So I think he's going to get doubled. They're going to throw him into zones, which is going to open up other opportunities for players on that team. And that's how I see it. What
crushed on the Lions last week, right? It was Swift and Jamal Adams crushed. Yep. So I think healthy dose Dalvin Cook. I totally agree with that. But throw Jordan Davis out here. He's much bigger than Dalvin Cook.
There you go. It's not a bad idea. Especially with your end hurt, they could shift some things around and get him in there full time. So
yeah, fuck it.
I also forgot one point I wanted to make on the Packers-Bears game. Dalvin Cook, I think, ran for 90 yards against the Packers. So David Montgomery season, let's fucking go, dude. Oh, because they're the same skill player, right? They're
Alex isn't here. You don't need
equal tier. Yeah. Well, no, you actually made me draft him in another league, so just throwing that at you.
Still like him, all right. Yeah,
he's not bad. We'll see. Alrighty, that's it for the week 2 Pick'em show. Once again, if you're listening to us on the podcast, we love you. We appreciate you. If you've been with us the entire Time on this stream, we love you and appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
One more time, I gotta shout it out. Please, if you have some extra cash laying around, go help out the Mosquito Fire Relief. They really need some help. It is affecting hometowns of most of the people on this podcast, family members, friends. So please go donate. Links are in the chat. Links are going to be on Twitter as well. And if you are just listening and don't have access to those, go to SACB and search Mosquito Fire, GoFundMe. There are verified links to help people out there. So we love you guys. We are going to have a double dose of hot sauce next week. So be here, be ready. It's going to be hot. It's going to be spicy. We're going to be having an absolute blast. So thank you guys for being here with us for week 1 recap and week 2 pick'ems. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.